This here's a modern tale about the modern West, and I reckon you ought to like it. It's got drama and danger and good guys and strangers, and it deals with a relevant topic. It's about cigarettes, friends, you know, smoking and all, and whether you should or you shouldn't. It's about a guy named Edgar who's trying to figure if smoking is wise or it isn't. Now, folks, there are a couple of things you ought to know about this guy, Edgar. So, if you don't mind, I think we better back up a little. Thank you. Long around the beginning of summer, old Edgar was just about the happiest fella you could hope to find. Friends, this guy was walking on air. Hey, Edgar, why don't you say something to the folks? Yahoo! Yep, I reckon that just about sums it up. See, after a whole winter of hard physical training, Edgar got a job as sports director at the Smoky Mountain Dude Ranch. And he was mighty proud, and grateful, too.
Howdy, Miss Hackwell. Gee, thanks again for the job.
Oh, yes, Albert. Just keep our guests smiling.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, nobody loves sports more than Edgar. And soon, this lucky guy was playing every day, from the moment he woke up till the moment he hit the sack.
Geronimo!
What's more, he was playing with some mighty important folks. This here guest ranch was a pretty fancy place, and all sorts of interesting people were arriving every day. Of course, Edgar tried to be friendly to everyone. But he was naturally partial to those who appeared to be athletically inclined. By the way, that there lady was Daphne Sue Simpson, the famous balloonist, and a mighty fine athlete all around. She and Edgar got to be real good buddies, right off the bat. Things were going great, and it sure looked like it was going to be a fine summer. Until one day...
Attention, sports fans. Please report to the... Thank you.
Poor Edgar found himself overwhelmed with work. He hardly ever got to play sports anymore. It just seemed like everybody was taking advantage of it. And Edgar got to feeling pretty small. He tried talking to his boss about it.
Excuse me, Ms. Hackwell. I'd like to talk to you about my job.
Yes. Fine job, Albert. Just keep the guests happy and I'll be happy.
Edgar had a problem.
I've got to find a way to get people around here to respect me.
Well, one night he got an idea how to do it. It just sort of snuck up on him like and tapped him on the shoulder.
Cigarettes?
Edgar knew that smoking was bad. But gee, lots of folks did it. Lots of real important folks, in fact. Edgar gave it some thought. And decided smoking was the perfect solution. Well, the next morning, Edgar lit his first cigarette. It made him kind of sick, but he figured it'd be worth it if it made him look important. But somehow, nobody seemed to be impressed. Not even his friend, Daphne Sue.
Yuck!
Well, poor Edgar was confused. He didn't know whether to smoke or not.
It was a dumb idea. But maybe I haven't given it enough time.
And that night, he had a very strange dream.
Order, order, order! Quiet! This hearing is now in session. Thank you. This hearing is to decide if I should smoke or not. We'll hear first from the council in favor of smoking.
Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, my, isn't this fun? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, smoking makes a person look mature, dignified, independent, and, of course, very important. And to prove my point, I submit Exhibit A, a picture of myself. Rather good of me, don't you think?
Counsel, is that all the evidence you have to present?
Of course not. Why, look at all my adoring fans. And my lifestyle. Smoking is very important to my image. And would certainly help yours.
We will now hear from the council against smoking.
Thank you. Your Honor, smoking's not going to win you respect from anybody. 'Cause nowadays, even little children know that smoking is a dangerous habit. Your Honor, this triangle shows that there are 3 sides to good health: physical, mental, and social. All 3 need to be in balance. But when people start smoking, they damage the physical side, which in turn affects the others. This diagram represents the inside of a healthy non-smoker. Everything's running fine. Now look what happens when a person smokes. First, the lungs get clogged, and that means less oxygen gets into the blood. And now, to make up for it, the heart has to work harder and pump faster than usual. Much faster, in fact. All sorts of physical problems are caused by smoking. The smoker can seriously damage his heart and lungs, and his arteries, stomach, voice box, and even tongue. And everyone knows that smokers run a very high risk of cancer, heart disease, respiratory damage, and a lot of other diseases too. A much higher risk than non-smokers do. And just look at some of the horrible things in cigarette smoke. Dangerous chemicals, poisons, pesticides, and even habit-forming drugs. There's nothing to admire about a habit like smoking. Your Honor, look around you. There are far more non-smokers today than smokers. People are wising up. You shouldn't start.
Well, the judge, Edgar that is, found it awful hard to ignore all those facts.
I hereby decide not to smoke. Court's adjourned.
When he woke up, the first thing he did was throw out those cigarettes. The next thing he did was find Daphne. He told her about the dream, and she made him feel even better about his decision.
Oh, Edgar, there are lots of reasons why you shouldn't smoke. Besides damaging your health, did you know that smoking turns your teeth yellow and makes your breath smell bad? And people who smoke get sick more often than non-smokers. And Edgar, expectant mothers who smoke can harm their babies even before they're born.
Then Daphne said something that really surprised Edgar.
You know, I started smoking once.
You're kidding.
Nope, but it just didn't make sense. It really hurt me, especially in sports.
In sports? What do you mean?
I was out of breath all the time. I didn't have enough energy. I had to quit smoking, and believe me, quitting's not easy once you're hooked.
Well, friends, you can't imagine how glad Edgar was that he tossed out those cigarettes. And he would have been powerfully content with himself, except for one familiar problem.
Listen, pal, it's after 8. When you gonna put out the equipment?
He still had to find a way to make other folks respect him.
I've got it.
Got what?
A way to make people look up to you. Listen to this.
Daphne's idea was called the Daphne Sue Marathon, and it caused quite a stir at that ranch.
A trip in a balloon. How chic.
It seemed like everybody went into training for that race. And when that big day finally arrived, a whole lot of folks were just sure they were going to win.
On your mark, get set.
Well, friends, I just wish you could have been there. You never did see Edgar look so sharp, and you never saw so many exhausted and disappointed smokers. And I guess I don't have to tell you what happened after that.
See you in 2 weeks.
Oh, except there is one other thing. If you're looking to drop by the ranch sometime, you ought to know that Edgar's boss went and changed the name.
All right, you lazy bones. I told you 3 more laps around the field. And when you pass the trash cans, you'd better dump those cigarettes.
Yeah, smoking, my friends, you ought to beware, 'cause it's true, it's a dangerous habit. Now, if you ever get tempted, just think of old Edgar. He'll remind you it's best to forget it.
There's more than one way to get people to look up to you.